Okay, ladies, welcome to you both here this morning. I'm delighted to see you both here and thank you for coming. So Mary, I'll start with you and with your earliest memories of Sunday Swell, please.
My earliest memories would really be back in 1947. You weren't allowed John here, it was men only, and we came on the open week to play, and you changed down in Michael's house. You weren't allowed into for a drink, it was handed out the window. And if I have it properly, I think who would have been, I suppose, the secretary was, he was either Carl Keith or Keith Carl. And you sure did not venture inside. And actually we loved coming here because it was a lovely club.
Peggy, your earliest memories?
My earliest memory was I joined, it was the early 70s, and I joined playing squash. It was squash, I played for not tennis. I played tennis as a kid, but not very well. But anyway, joined for tennis or squash. And Sheila O'Shea and myself used to come on a Thursday morning. And one beautiful Thursday, Marjorie Smith and Nate Buckley came up. We were upstairs in that confined dressing room after, and there was somebody doing exercises on the floor or something. And they said, "What are you doing playing squash in a beautiful day like this? You're very foolish." So we made a date and joined them the following Thursday. And we never went back to the squash. And it went on from there. We were spoiled, really. It was great fun. There was Declan and Malky McCall of Barry Crem and those. They loved it. And they were next to us. We had great interaction. It was more than just the tennis. So that went on for 25 years. And then we'd give up to Tuesday nights. I finished that. We'd give up to Tuesday nights because all these young ones were booking the court ahead of us. They were beatious to it. So they found out what happened. So we thought it wasn't fair. They were working girls and we were taking the courts and we were more leisurely. You know, I know it's small kids and whatever, but we changed then to a Monday morning. So went on from there.
I played for 18 years with Donald McCarthy and Gordon and Ellis every Sunday night. And we had great fun.
Yeah.
And
Of course,
I'm the only one around now.
But you made very good friends in the club.
And in actual fact, then when I had to give up the tennis there, when I had my sadness with Ursula, I took up croquet. And I'm down in Timberleek. And I made very nice friends there. And somebody said to me, it was Noel Lucy's wife actually said to me, "Wouldn't you play the croquet?" And I thought, that's for old people. This time I was 86. And I think it was Hugh Harrington took me down then. And he said, "Oh, this nice lady's coming out from Bandit. And she's very nice," he said to me. And when she came towards me, she wasn't she for divorces and Fitzgibbons. So I'm looking forward to that now again because they pick me up in Bandon and they take me from that to Timberleek. But the tennis was our life. We used to tennis and Fermoy and bread and butter and jam. And you were lucky if you got the bread and butter and jam, you know. There'd be a rush on it.
We never missed a Friday night. I love Friday nights.
There's social tennis.
Social tennis. And Greg Moore, most of the time, organised it.
And Greg used to organise it.
And we got to know them all. And they were good fun. And we play on as long as we could. We could then a lot more.
You both? Okay. What are your memories of the achievements in the club?
Was when in the courts were the grass courts, and then they had was two hard courts down them, I forgot, and then they resurfaced those, and we thought they were fabulous until of course The more modern ones came, which were state of the art. But I wouldn't know that club would have the sequence of all that, wouldn't they? But, and then we were allowed inside the door. Can't remember that. The
How do you
club-
think the club is looking now in its latest format?
Oh, it is.
Apart from how it looks, Kaylin, it's the atmosphere, it's the people and the interaction. We have a lot of young people now. I'm still a member, a lot of young people, which is wonderful. Makes a club vibrant, doesn't it? Goes on from that. But to digress a minute, the catering. I was caught up in the catering, accidentally or otherwise, but I can't remember days and dates now. Nora Flynn would fill you in on that. Whoever was tennis captain was responsible for, tournaments that were on. If we gave a cup of tea or anything, but we'd be all madly baking at home and
We'd all bring
sandwiches and
something,
bringing
yeah.
stuff. I nearly fell when one mince pie tournament. I always spent Stephen's Day making dozens of mince pies for bringing up.
Then that fell through.
Then they started to buy them.
Somebody that was British, the captain, but we leave that to go by. We had the caterers.
Yeah. Well, of course, it was the way to go. But there was just one incident. Sean Flynn was squash captain. And I don't know what day the squash come tennis tournament or something in the summer. I've forgotten the occasion. But Emma and Nora rang me to come in to give a hand. They were having to do food after, so we decided anyway. I had to do a beef casserole in large when I was used to catering for crowds and all the rest. And I was playing as well. And we had a big pot of the casserole and we had the rice. And if I put somebody in charge of minding the rice and if it got dry and stirring it and keep it. And I went off to my tennis and someone came running down saying, "Come up quick, the rice has gone wrong." Your one, I've forgotten who it was just as well, she said, "But I only ever did boil in the bag, Uncle Ben's." She never did rice for 30 or 40 people. It came up and it was one big lump in the pot. It was one big lump and
You had to get the hammer.
it wasn't burst. And Loretta Leahy's very funny. She said, Peggy came in the door and said, "Get out of my way, we must sort this." And anyway, I said, "Put on the kettles there, put on a pair of gloves," and teased out all the lumps, the huge lump, but it wasn't stuck and it wasn't burnt. So anyway, got a colander and sorted every bit of the rice. And of course they were exaggerating and saying all that. Who'd know the difference? It turned out terrific in the end. But they were all sorts of incidents. There was some other mishap another time and they had no food. It burnt or it something, But that's what happened. The caterers were a blessing in the end. Because people came in, like the lady who only used to boil bag rice. They weren't used to catering. And next thing, their husband is captain and they're landed in with, Nora's finally neighbour, she was great.
Ellen Horton, I played against Ellen Horton here.
Yeah.
Against Ellen Horton, I think, and Anne Horrigan. No, Anne Horrigan and Magic London.
Yeah.
And Ellen Horton played, was it his father or himself, played in Wimbledon.
It was himself.
I came in here with Dolly Brooks and Heather McKeown, just a friendly of a morning, and Ellen Horton was a lovely player. She was nice too. But I suppose that was my claim to fame, playing against him.
Yeah. He was playing near us on a
And-
Tuesday night, Alan Hall.
Yes.
And gradually Marge would say, look at Alan, he started off with a knee brace. Then a few weeks later it's an elbow. Then he's up there. She said, oh my God, Alan is cracking up. I said, no, there he is. He's miles older than us. And he's a lot of tennis uncle. But we had great fun. But he played. He played.
Although in my
That time, people were very sticky about the whites. It's a pity that's half gone.
we did have to wear the white stuff, Peggy.
No, it's a pity it's gone. I love
Yeah.
having to wear
Yeah,
that.
I was in
It's
Leeds for
easier.
a while. Yeah.
It's easier. One time, I got a letter from the club. I was furious. Came up without my tennis shoes, and I was missed. And in that desperate dressing room upstairs, there was a press where there were leftovers and stuff left, and I found a pair of grey runners. I went out and played with them. Thought nothing, but put them back. Went home, got a letter from the club a few days after that I was seen on the court with non-white shoes. And if there's any more of this,
I'm playing here against two from Rushbrook. Who did I play with? John Hegarty. Remember John? He was here, John was here. I often wondered what happened to him. Remember there were solicitors in the mail. John had
it's not Kay's husband.
No. I was married to somebody from Ballincollig. But anyway, Alice and Dennis Corby and those who were watching it, you see, and the guy, can't think of his name, from Rushbrook, he dropped shot at me. And when we came off, we were beaten. When we came off, Alice said to our opponents, that was a nice thing to do to a granny. Drop shot at me. What do you think happened the next night? We saw this man coming in with a big bunch of flowers for me, an apology for drop shooting me. That was his name. McCarthy. He was McCarthy. He's still in Rushbrook. Because I was in Rushbrook some time ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago for something, and he was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that I always remember the bunch
But
of flowers.
no, it was.
Sunday's well has come a long ways, seeing that they left the ladies in.
Remember
What's that day you say long ago about the women rule the world, was it?
But I remember the excitement when Mary Jane was made the first.
Oh yes, I do. I remember that.
Sure, we were all celebrating. It was wonderful. When was that, Katie?
1997.
Was it?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Was it?
I think the the motion to allow women to become full members was passed in 94 or 95, I think.
Yeah.
And then she became the first captain then in 97.
They're not allowed in the smoke room.
Oh, they are.
What are they?
Oh, yeah.
Do they
Full members, yeah.
Do they take it up?
They've organised a few occasions, evenings, to encourage
Just
women, but
to make a
it's just
point.
fun.
But reading the, I remember she played with Alice in a ladies' doubles out there in the middle court, and they were beaten. Alice was more drinking
Yeah.
because they didn't win. She was a nice tennis player too. She was a lovely girl.